Rosie, welcome back to the channel, man. Happy to see y'all. Hopefully, y'all happy to see me. Welcome to another episode of Froze. Welcome down. What are we walking down today? Well, we're going to continue the coverage for the Exodus event, October 11th, live in New York, the Big Apple, the city that never sleeps, the home of hip hop. I cannot wait. Head over to rapcrit.com if you want to get your pay-per-views. If you want to be in attendance, head over to info@takeoverbattleleague.net, or you can text 508-961-8400 for any information about attending the event. And even if you have some pay-per-view information, I'm sure that number will text back and get to you and get the information you need. What we talking about today, Froze? Well, before we talk about anything, I'd like to hit my music.
Yeah, we used to get it off the stove. Now we gon' get it off the rack. You're rocking with Frozen and bros. We're now in the zone. We need ice in the super chat. We about to kick in them doors. Like get on the phone. I wanna know where it's at. We at the table with legends. When they get to talking, I bet they don't tell you that. Hold up. Wait, don't cut me off while I'm talking my talk. Been on the grind on our way to the top, and I still keep a G in the way that I walk. Same for the way that I talk, but we don't talk much, we just stay facts. And the fact is, we like Jay Black, and we about to bring this whole game back. Now let's walk. You about to walk with Frozen. You about to walk with bros. Look at me. Look at me.
All right, let's get to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Exodus going down. We're less than 2 weeks away, and I wanted to talk about a special matchup on this card, which is, I think, a very well-rounded card. This is actually my pre-event day battle of the night. I think on paper going into this, I would pick this as my battle of the night. Well, who we talking about, Froze? I love when I throw the flyer up and y'all know, but I think y'all can see at the top and see the tab, so it kind of gives it away. I got to figure a way how to hide that from y'all. But it's nothing more than God is good all the time. A Ward going up against Jay the Nightwing. Perfect. Perfect. And I'm going to tell you why. We got the church boy versus... Damn it, I'd like to think that if Jay the Nightwing comes off like he practices dark magic, I'm not judging or saying he does, but damn it, if I had to say he was practicing, I'd say a little bit of dark magic. A little bit of voodoo. You know, Jay Nightwing give you all that vibe. By the way, before we get into breaking this down, this battle, walking them down, my hat rack fucking sucks. I need to fix it, and I will ensure you in the next month or two, I'm getting a whole new backdrop. I am tired of these crunchy, wrinkly, fucking soggy-ass hats sitting behind me, and it just hit me. I'm sure some of you probably feel that way. I just want to let you know, as I'm recording this video, I just saw it. It hit me. I am tired of it. We're going to upgrade that. Okay. Well, speaking of upgrade, well, wouldn't you like to upgrade your work, upgrade your resume? If you're A Ward, if you're Jay the Nightwing, you should. You should, but damn it, both of them have been pretty active this year and as of lately, right? Now, the funny thing is, I'd say, let me see. Yeah, no, I'd be wrong. Both of them are having a really, really active year. I totally forgot. Jay the Nightwing started his year off at the Rest in Peace Pat Stay, the Pat Stage tribute event that we all also did the commentary for that. It was an honor. For Nova Scotia versus Real Deal, the multiple time King of the Dot champion. But he's had Danny Myers this year. He's also had Ill Will this year at Apollo. I called that pay-per-view also for Jay the Nightwing. I don't say that to toot my own horn. I let you know that being in the building matters. Catching it on camera is you can judge the battle either way, but it's different when you were there and then you saw it, right? So when I say I was in the building, I called that. I'm flexing a little bit, but in a humble way. But I really stay that to say I saw the battles and I was there. Jay the Nightwing versus Tay-Rock. Holy shit. Danny Myers, Ill Will, Tay-Rock. That 3 in a row is nasty. Especially for Jay the Nightwing. That's, dare I say, he hit his stride. And he ended it off last year with the middle of the year. He had a battle with Twerk. And then Justin August, NXT. Okay. And also Jay the Nightwing was also on Gnome. A Ward, Kichi Gotti, compliment battle. I don't really count those, but they're fun. There's still some difficulty to that, but it's just more fun, right? He had Coffee Brown this year. He had I Battle versus Tariq this year. He had Swave Seville on Street Talk Entertainment this year. You know, he goes on a fucking tour. Steams this year. And then also he just had his Summer Madness URL debut. So I'd say, you know, and this isn't irregular for A Ward, but his strength of schedule was a little bit relaxed this year, right? Obviously, he had T-Top and a few other battles spread out throughout the year, and Coffee too, but on the Riot. But I just feel like his year has just been a little bit more ginger than it usually is. And it's no disrespect to A Ward. I mean, he's very accomplished in his tenure. He has 109 battles. That's insane. 15 million views. He averages 140 every time he steps out, 140K on the low end, right? So those are pretty solid numbers, especially when he only been on URL one time. Jay the Nightwing, 47 battles. Doesn't even have half the battles as A Ward. If you count his ad battles, that probably catches him up, actually. But 2.1 million views. He averages 45,000 per, which is better than a lot. But, you know, also a lot of people have better numbers than that. But why do I state the numbers? It's relevant to a few things: motion, fan base, you know, traction, viewership, difference the tiers to a certain degree, who's who and what's what. He was a bigger battler than Jay Nightwing. Is he like? No, did he? Is he a much bigger name than Jay the Nightwing? Well, not much, because Jay the Nightwing is one of those battlers that's a lot of people's personal favorites, right? And I know you're like, oh, don't everybody have personal favorites? Yeah, but his viewership, I don't think, would equate to how many people would drop his name if they were just talking about their personal favorite. He is somewhat of a fan favorite to a degree. You know what I mean? Now, Jay the Nightwing has had blemishes all throughout his career and inconsistency issues, but it does seem the latter part of the last few years or year and some change, he has shown some ability to put it together and actually look like he can pan out to be the superstar that he was pegged to be. No Diddy once again when he first got in the game, when everybody saw the promise. Not that many years ago, but years ago. All right, Fro, stop wasting my time. Let's break the battle down. Well, all right, sorry, it's a fucking show. Let me do my job. A Ward just coming off of Summer Madness debut, and Jay the Nightwing coming off of the Gnome debut. That's big to me. That is crazy to me. That means something. And the reason being is because I thought that it might have been a little bit more overdue for A Ward, for sure. It was more overdue for A Ward than it was Jay the Nightwing. And I thought, Ward deserved it a little bit more than Nightwing. Not to say Jay didn't deserve it. But, getting Nitty as your debut on the big stage, and, that was important for Jay the Nightwing in his campaign and where he's been trending. And A Ward, who has just shown an ability to stay relevant without having that major stamp outside of the KOTDs and your RBEs and stuff like that, to still be a household name in year 9 and year 10, it's literally just a credit to how special he actually has been in totality. And he hasn't had the inconsistency issues that Jay has had. He's had more of behind the scenes and business issues in his career, which did not stunt him in any way. I do not think if A Ward would have got on URL 10 years ago, he'd be too much of a bigger name than he is now. Maybe a little bit, because I don't want to knock what URL does. I mean, URL got my career started, for sure. It travels if you can get on there and have some success in some capacity. Even if it's small success or mild success, it can go a long way to get you other places. I'm a prime example of that. So, but, this is a big battle. And this is a style clash if you ever saw one. This is the exact definition of a style clash. You got a guy who doesn't sound like any fucking body, and you can only get his style from him, a la your Calicos, a la your Coffee Browns too, a la your 40 bars, even though I know you guys have been on her for the inconsistency. When I talk about you can only hear that type of rap from these people, right? You can probably, me and Shotgun Suge don't have the same writing pockets, the same rhyming capacity or ability, but we have similar skill sets, and you can kind of get a similar vibe from listening to both of us at periodically, right? So I'm not saying me and Suge sound alike. I'm saying we have similar skill sets to a certain degree. You can probably get that type of fix you looking for ear-wise from me or Suge. But you can't get Jay the Nightwing from anywhere else. You can't get Calico from anywhere else in battle. Those guys are special for that reason. You know, and everybody is special for their own reasons. But for those guys, that makes that's a lot of their makeup. Jay the Nightwing could use a big win here versus Ward. And Ward, I'll tell you what, I wasn't blown away by his performance at Summer Madness, and I know it happens and a lot of things go into it. I didn't think it was a complete flop, but I just expected more fireworks, and sometimes timing and placement is everything in this sport, right? Pardon. But good battlers, really good battlers, which I believe both of them have shown that ability, and great battlers, I've been saying it a lot lately because you guys shame the losers nowadays. They have the ability to not let it happen twice. They have the ability to not have a letdown twice. And some of them usually respond well to missed performances, right? I know A Ward probably enjoyed his Summer Madness battle a lot, and I know he probably expected or wanted to have even a more explosive performance appearing on camera. So I know the competitor he is, I can kind of get a vibe that he's going to respond for that. And then Jay the Nightwing, him versus Nitty. I mean, I thought he looked at a slightly, I want to use a word here that's not disrespectful, but I thought he looked at slightly out of place at Nome. And that doesn't mean he didn't deserve it. What I mean by that is just maybe the atmosphere and the big stage. I think that Jay the Nightwing is for sure a medium, small room superstar, capable battler. He can get spooky in those rooms, especially if he's prepped. On stage, I think it takes away some of the mystique of what he does. He's not a great performer as far as movement-wise, and he's not going to use a lot of the stage. That's not his style. He's actually more of a mummy, a standing target up there. And that bodes well for the pit style, small room, medium rooms, 300 to 400 people. But you can even craft 304 people and make it look like a bigger room and still have a big room feel. So I just think that, and I'm not sure. I got to look at this venue. I don't want to give it away too early. If I know if it's the ad, which I don't even know why I said that. Like I was trying to be cool. If this is a big room or pit style, I know TBL prefers pit style though, so we'll see. It's a great matchup, guys. It's a great fucking matchup. If your friends won't tell you, Frozy will. And I think both of these guys could use the win. Not like they've been losing a lot, but they could just use the win over. This is a perfect year ender. Or even if you have another battle or two, knowing A Ward, he's got 5, before the year's ending to go into, for your campaign, whether you want to rank high in Cody, whether you want to be one of the top 5, top 10, or just be on the list, which I believe both of these guys probably will be, most likely will be, because, most of the guys over there know what they're talking about. This could be a very good win for either one of these guys in their campaign to end the year off and get them ready for 2026, because they'll both have put themselves in a position to get some big looks in 2026. And it's all going down in New York at Exodus. TBL, October 11th, pay-per-view, rapgrid.com. We'll be there waiting for you. If your friends won't tell you, Frozy will.